Should I buy term and invest the rest? Or should I just buy a permanent insurance policy that has investments embedded into it? Let's get into it. So we're looking at a 37-year-old male, in perfect health, right? Purchasing $1 million in insurance, and we're looking at an average return of around about 8%, as the market usually averages anywhere between 8 to 12% over the long term. This is hypothetical. Now, for a 37-year-old male, you're looking at around about $6,800 per year, round about, right, for the $1 million in insurance. And if you look at the legacy piece, which is all we're going to be talking about, what would be left behind, not looking at the cash value component on either strategies. So from the legacy piece, you'd ultimately be leaving behind around about the same amount for both strategies. I'd say on the buy term and invest the rest side, it is somewhat in as you get within the first 30 years, as you get closer to year 30, it actually shows that you'd be leaving behind a little bit more from the legacy piece with that strategy, but it's quite deceptive because it's not calculating the amount that you potentially may pay in taxes if you were to earn a profit inside your portfolio, because of course if you purchase an index fund, there is still trading happening in your portfolio. So if you earn a profit, that 1099 is received, which you pay taxes on your actual income. So depending on your tax bracket will determine how much you pay in taxes in that given year. So it's a little deceptive in terms of how much would be left behind, because it's not calculating the actual taxes that are associated to those earnings that are made inside the portfolio. However, like I said, it does show that on the investment buy term and invest the rest side, from the legacy piece, you would be leaving a little bit more behind with that strategy. Ultimately, on the buy term and invest the rest side, there's a significant drop off after year 30 when the term insurance ends, because you've lost $1 million in insurance. So you're potentially leaving behind almost $1 million less, right? Almost $1 million less on the buy term and invest the rest side, fundamentally because you lost the insurance, as opposed to the permanent insurance side, where that is continuously growing over time and there is absolutely no drop off there. It's not until you get to year 80, so between year 67 to year 80, you have less on the buy term and invest the rest side, but by year 80, the investment actually catches up because of compound interest. Now, if you live long beyond age 80, well into your 90s, then you fundamentally would have left more on the buy term and invest.